So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be talking about influencers Jayda, Cheaves, and Ari Fletcher and the aesthetic of their friendship. Jayda and Ari are social media public figures that are primarily known within the urban and hip-hop community. The two are heralded as it girls, successful social media stars, and also platform baby mamas to well-known rappers. These two ladies have made a name for themselves over the years by starting and staying on beauty trends, making their luxurious lifestyles a desired spectacle, and having their fair share of drama. Recently, both ladies appear on the show Impact ATL, which is streaming on BET+. The show is a reality show detailing the lives of Ari, Jayda, and 3 other castmates who have a social appeal to the young teen and young adult urban community. I did get a chance to finally watch the show, and I will do a separate video on that. It's actually already in the works. That video will be more in-depth about my thoughts on the show, the cast, the plot, and all of that jazz. I don't dislike the show. I actually think it's interesting to see what really goes on behind the scenes of famous Instagram models, as the lens on them via social media only is very contrived and filtered. The reality show is still a reality show, but it gives audiences a more honest look at the lifestyles, behaviors, nuances, and aspects of the lives of these very well-known young people. Within the show's first episode, the drama and enticement starts immediately with this semi-awkward conversation between Jayda and Ari. The conversation can be summarized to both ladies have this underlying tension with one another as they both believe they act weird or distant or reserved when they are in the same spaces, the same event, as well as the same industry. Skirt! Hey y'all. Editor Chioma here. So I uploaded the video and the clip got flagged by Viacom. Y'all just don't want me to be great. So I'm just going to link the Shade Room link to the video of Jayda and Ari's conversation if you haven't seen the episodes already, and then we'll just get back to the commentary. So after watching it, it really does remind me of the conversation I had in one of my past videos about this generation focusing on the aesthetic of a friendship more than the values within finding a friend. This then dilutes the quality of relationships and causes people to misconstrue what they really deserve in a friend. And I think in a less offensive way, Jayda and Ari's conversation reflects that. So I want to talk about this a little further. I've broken this video down into 2 main talking points. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So point number 1 is aesthetic friendships. So defining what an aesthetic friendship is, it's kind of this post-millennium terminology to define what this generation has created because of the infiltration of social media, vanity, and popularity. And I never really talked that much about popularity as much as I do the image of things, but I really want to touch on how much being famous or even being infamous drives an aesthetic friendship. And aesthetic friendships focus more on the look or the appeal of the people within this union due to the commonalities between those individuals. So in layman's terms, it's when all of the pretty girls and popular girls in school are all friends with each other because they all have some of the same items or gadgets, they enjoy the same fashion, they are liked by the same types of boys or men, and feel the need to group up to represent that image. In today's world, a lot of aesthetic friendships that are heralded by onlookers are the ones like Jayda and Ari. High-profile women with an alluring lifestyle that makes people think that their ish doesn't stink. And you know what also doesn't stink? Scentbird. Scentbird is supporting my channel today, and I wanted to take a little time to introduce their brand. Scentbird is a subscription perfume company in which you can enjoy an array of scents delivered to you on a monthly basis. This month, I received 5 different samples ranging from a bunch of different designer brands. So I received Brit Sheer by Burberry. This one smells like a tropical citrus smell. It's like a vacation scent. Then I got Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. This one is lemony, but it's light, so it gives off fresh. Next, I received Bright Crystal Absolute by Versace. Y'all know I love the pink. This one is really floral and sexy, definitely for the ultimate girly girl. Moving on, I was also sent Be Delicious by DNKY. This one is also fruity, but it's more everyday wear. And then lastly, I received Bitch Please by Confessions of a Rebel. This one definitely has the sex appeal smell to it. It's woody and warm and definitely a bestseller. So Scentbird provides a community for fragrance aficionados and beginners and up-and-coming perfumers, all brought together by their belief in the power of scent, which I do love. And as much as people want to live in this luxury and bad bee culture that we like to see on social media, I think having a distinct and pleasuring scent to you gives off the luxury appeal that a lot of people want. So my favorite is definitely the Bitch Please because it's definitely giving sweet and bougie just like myself. And with Scentbird, you don't have to buy the full-size bottles, but you do get a selection of designer fragrances, which is really cool. All of the fragrances come in a drawstring duster bag, which I love for organization and storage. It's an 8-milliliter bottle, which is a generous size for everyday use to last you about a month or so. And the lock and unlock lock feature is great for anti-leaking. Scentbird is your fragrance destination, a single place to discover, explore, learn about, and experience scents just for you. I love that it's so customizable because there are thousands of scents, but you find the ones that really reflect you and your personality. They have perfumes and colognes and a lot of unisex options as well, so men, don't feel left out. They got you. With each fragrance, you get a 30-day supply, so you can try out fragrances before committing to a full-size bottle. Scentbird lets you choose a new designer fragrance to try every month for just $17, but if you use my code QCHAMA for 55% off at Scentbird, it'll just be a little bit over $7 for your first month. It is available in the USA and Canada. Thank you, Scentbird, for the sponsorship, and make sure you guys check out the links below. Now, getting back to this idea of aesthetic friendship, this generation has been plagued with not only wanting certain people to be friends and in some cases forcing it, but also expecting it from strangers to fit this imaginary but also real image of social rankings. And I think Jada and Ari put that expectation on themselves because of the social media comments, and maybe because it just sort of kind of makes sense. To see the top two urban influencers link up, do club hostings, be in publications together, have play dates for their kids, and so forth, seems like the ultimate friendship. But people have to learn that surface level things don't always correlate to internal realities. Just because I like designer bags and so do you, doesn't mean that we're going to click. Just because I enjoy making social commentary on YouTube and you like watching me, doesn't mean that we would make good friends in real life. The problem with aesthetic friendships is that they are based on trivial purposes that usually have a deadline, an end goal, or a motive. That could be only becoming friends to promote an event, only being cool to appease or detest somebody else, or only linking up because you and said other person operate within the same circles. But to be a true friend requires more. And I don't mean to get too biblical, but I can't help but quote this Bible verse. This was my favorite Bible verse as a kid, and it's Galatians 5:22-23. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law." There are many variations of this verse with different terms and adjectives, but they all are pretty synonymous. But I always reference this verse to describe the true virtue of a friend, even with people that you have family relations to. A lot of friendships based on aesthetics don't have any fruits to them, and it shows in this generation in so many ways. I think if people focused on real qualities more than anything else, people could have better experiences in friendships and other relationships. Now, point number 2 is dissecting Ari and Jada's friendship. So the clip shows us that these two ladies seem to be at odds over this tension, and the reality is there wasn't anything they could pinpoint as the main issue or the root of this aura surrounding their companionship, which was like really unsurprising to me because the issue isn't anything tangible. The issue is the failure to be compatible the majority of the time. And I think what is clear to me as an audience member, social media user, but most importantly their peer, is that these two ladies are aesthetic friends. And they did not realize they were because of their difference in personality, but similarity in career choice. And I think a lot of times we think that we have to get along with or be buddy-buddy with the people, especially the women, within our jobs, careers, and industries, and don't always know how or when to separate business and pleasure. See, Ari and Jada are two completely different people. Ari is more aggressive, straightforward, straight to the point, talkative, and fiery. Jada is more reserved, plays on her innocence, seems a little bit more down to earth, and has a different understanding of success before fame. I think both ladies just really are not each other's cup of tea. And I think social media pushing the bad B aesthetic and these two being the headliners of it made them think that they needed to link up and be close friends. And I feel they may have felt that they were the golden nuggets of their industry, which they are, but that doesn't mean y'all are gonna be cool. In the beginning, when they said they used to live next door, they were very close. But that was also back when they were still a new and budding attraction to social media and probably were a little bit more carefree about their brands. Now that the ladies are a little bit older, they have kids that are toddlers and also have different relationship partners or statuses that they didn't once have, things are just different. It's okay that they feel weird because that just means they grew apart or just grew into their respective subdivisions of life. They can both coexist to do that, and I think due to the blogs and the pressure, they eventually thought they had to compete, being that women are often compared, and it just put a wedge on how much they hung out and how they were just messing with each other. I think a lot of this is just the fans and blogs adding fuel to to fire because I never even knew the Jones were at odds at all. Like, this was news to me, but that's the internet for you. In regards to Jayda playing victim, I can see that a little bit, but I think it's because Jayda's personality is a little more classy, reserved, and toned down in comparison to Ari. But Jayda does sort of give off that she throws stones and hides her hands. However, Ari is like a bull, so it was probably easier for Jayda to say things or move in a way that poked the bear, but didn't really wake up the bear. I really don't see an issue with this conversation. These are two grown women who play a very visible component of social media and urban pop culture, and it's okay that they are not as close as they used to be or grew apart a little bit. I think they can agree to be cordial at events and on the internet, collaborate where they see fit, and then remain their separate entities while being themselves and having their core friend groups. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. Thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Make sure you guys check out the links down below in my description box. If you haven't already, please follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
In the motherland, it will push a roof. Y'all hoes be swearing y'all get in the bag, but it must be a joke or a gimmick. Y'all hoes be swearing y'all music is hot, but I'll fry your ass on the skillet. Y'all hoes be swearing y'all running the game, but couldn't even play in the scrimmage.
She forgot I'm it, so we about to play tag.
Bam! Whole lot of timers on they ass. Yeah, whole lot of timers on they ass. Goddamn, whole lot of timers on they ass. Man, whole lot of timers on they ass. Better run, cause it's whole lot of timers on they ass. Oh, riding the 05 Camry. Long legs call me Bambi. Tryna make a Billy, not Mandy. Keep my foot on your neck, it's a stampede. Started fucking with bosses, now he's always giving me back pain. Counting so much money, it's like I'm playing Mac games. Yeah, they call me Queen, and Chioma is the last name. Long way from North 3rd Street, long way from Northeast. Baby Glock with no baby. I want a 7 Series Mercedes, and I know you mad if you play me. It's still a few of y'all that hate me. Neck white, ice dripping rabies. Wrist frostbite, please save me. New fit on and it's rainy. Roll the scepter out, Allegheny. Up all night while you snoozing. At the W while you losing. Toes all white, yeah, they cooning. 9 strokes in, now he oozing. So stop like a red light, you sweet like a biscuit. And they gon' watch this queen shit like it is Netflix. They bite and suck me like a damn mosquito. And your man be licking me like fingers and Cheetos, bitch. Whole lot of timers on they ass. 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 Riding in the 05 Camry. Long legs call me Bambi. Tryna make a Billy, not Mandy. Keep my foot on your neck, it's a stampede.